I never thought a calm evening could turn my world upside down. Just a quiet moment, a gentle breeze, and a glass of wine, but it launched me into the unexpected. When those playful, knowing glances from the women met my gaze, I knew tonight was about to change everything. The evening breeze brushed against my skin as I relaxed in the backyard, my mind racing through a whirlwind of thoughts. The hot tub bubbled softly, creating a calming vibe that clashed with the eerie stillness of the house. Typically, the air buzzed with laughter and chatter, especially during one of Vanessa, my stepmother's, famous gatherings. Tonight, the atmosphere was calm, and I savored a glass of wine I had quietly grabbed from the fridge. I'm Dylan, 22, freshly graduated, and back home, figuring out my next moves. This arrangement has its perks, like peaceful evenings. At least that's what I thought. The sliding door creaked, snapping me back to reality. Vanessa appeared, surrounded by her friends, laughter bubbling, drinks in hand, radiating pure joy. They spotted me in no time. "Dylan, what are you doing here all alone in this desolate spot?" Vanessa called out, her voice playfully lilting, a familiar melody that always caught my attention. I shrugged, caught in a moment of uncertainty, thinking about how to respond, company. That was the last thing on my mind, especially hers. As they approached, I noticed they were all in bikinis. Their flowing robes hinted at a tempting plan to dive into the hot tub. Brooke, a friend of Vanessa's, shot me a bright smile. "You should totally join us," she suggested, her tone lively and enticing. Before I could say anything, Vanessa swooped in and grabbed the wine glass from my hand. Her eyes sparkled with mischief as she urged, "Come on, don't be shy. The water's perfect." Tonight, I was swept up in a whirlwind of emotions, excitement mixed with a hint of anxiety. Their intense stares made it hard to say no. With a quick moment of reflection, I felt a surge of agreement and sprang to my feet. Brooke and Vanessa's friend Lily, who I remembered chuckling softly, joined them as they tossed aside their robes and jumped into the water. Laughter filled the night, a catchy and inviting melody. I paused at the edge, the feeling of being out of place still echoing from Vanessa's gaze. "The water's perfect," she exclaimed, a mischievous sparkle in her eye. Finally, I couldn't resist any longer. I jumped into the hot tub, the warm water wrapping around me like an old friend. As I settled in, a wave of calm swept over me, lifting the weight of hidden burdens. Vanessa's presence beside me was a comforting reminder of companionship. "Relax," Lily urged, her voice soothing, pulling us all into the moment. Vanessa slid another glass of wine my way, her fingers brushing against mine for a heartbeat longer than necessary. The warmth of the water, the wine's embrace, and the camaraderie around me created a wave of ease that swept over me. Laughter and playful splashes filled the air, but beneath it all, an unspoken tension simmered, teasing my senses. Every now and then, I'd spot it. As the minutes ticked by, I locked eyes with them, each gaze revealing a mystery I couldn't grasp. That's when I noticed Vanessa moving in closer. She spoke, her shoulder brushing against mine, her hand occasionally resting on my arm. I tried to stay composed, but the rapid thumping of my heart gave away my calm facade. Brooke and Lily watched us, their smiles daring me to move, but I stayed frozen, unsure of where this moment would lead. The atmosphere crackled, buzzing with an indescribable energy. Vanessa leaned in, her breath warm against my ear. "You seem tense, Dylan. Why don't you let us help you relax?" A chill raced down my spine as I noticed Brooke and Lily moving closer, their eyes locked in a silent conversation. Brooke smiled, her lips curling, sending a delightful flutter through my stomach. The warm water, the wine, and our closeness wrapped the moment in a dreamy haze. Vanessa's lips brushed my cheek, a teasing touch, as Brooke and Lily erupted in soft giggles. Every second ticked by, tension mounting, as if the world outside had frozen in place. Vanessa's hand glided down my arm, her touch intentional and electric. This had crossed the line from innocent fun. Brooke and Lily shared knowing looks, their laughter light and inviting. Vanessa's whisper pierced the silence. "We've been waiting for this, you know." My breath caught, and I was left reeling. The water swirled around us, warm and inviting, but it couldn't match the heat igniting between Vanessa's lips as they brushed softly against my neck. Brooke and Lily were tight now, hands roaming, lips teasingly grazing my skin. I felt totally engulfed all around me. I spun around, a gentle touch, a warm body drawing near. It was exhilarating, in the best way imaginable. Brooke leaned in, her hands gliding up my chest as our lips met. Her lips were soft yet assertive, and I instinctively kissed her back, my hands gravitating to her waist. Lily was right there, her fingers gliding down my arm, her lips teasing my jaw. "You deserve this," she said, her eyes locking onto mine, filled with curiosity. My voice was low and sultry, leaving me at a loss for words in response to her. I just nodded, heart racing. Her lips brushed against mine in a swift electric kiss. As the kiss intensified, Vanessa's hand found my thigh, clearly signaling her intentions. I quickly moved to assist her and soon realized my swimwear was gone. The warm water against my bare skin felt exhilarating. I took a deep breath and made my move. I found Vanessa's body, my hands deftly helping her out of her swimsuit. Brooke and Lily jumped in right after, and before we knew it, we were all naked in the bubbling water. Each body was a work of art. Vanessa's stunning curves, Brooke's sculpted physique, Lily's effortless Brooke. It was nearly overwhelming. A whirlwind of sensations unfolded, soft skin, warm water, and gentle touches that intensified with every heartbeat. I dove into the sensations, savoring Vanessa, then Brooke, and finally Lily. Every experience was one of a kind, each moment searing into my memory. I stood up, the cool night air sharply contrasting with the warm water. Vanessa and Brooke leaned in, their eyes locked on me, sending my head spinning. Their mouths created a sensation like nothing I'd ever felt before. The intensity surged as I struggled to just smile while they basked in the warm water. The thrill had faded, and we were all basking in the moment's afterglow. Vanessa sighed, a soft smile on her face. "That was fun," she said quietly. "KL," Brooke and Lily chimed in, their playful smiles lighting up the room. Everything felt more peaceful as they slipped out of the hot tub, towels wrapped around them, giggling softly on their way back inside. Vanessa was the last to go, casting a final glance back at me, her eyes sparkling. "Dylan," she whispered, then vanished into the crowd with her friends. I stayed in the hot tub a bit longer, letting the warm water work its magic. My heart raced, but I knew it was over. The night was a whirlwind of intensity and unforgettable moments. Leaning back, I closed my eyes and smiled. Tonight changes everything, and I'm buzzing with nerves and excitement for what's next. I had no idea this was just the start of a summer that would transform everything. I woke up the next morning with a slight headache and a rush of memories from the night before. For a moment, I questioned if it was all just a dream. The hot tub, Vanessa, Brooke, and Lily. It felt surreal, like it couldn't possibly be real. As I sharpened my focus, I realized it was real, very real. Silence enveloped the house as I hurried down the stairs. I expected to see Vanessa in the kitchen, but it was deserted. A note on the counter grabbed my attention. "Out for brunch with the girls, back later." Finally, a breath of relief. I wasn't ready to face Vanessa. I needed time to process it all. Sipping my coffee, I replayed last night. Vanessa's gaze, Brooke's kiss, Lily's gentle touch. It was all so vivid, but now, under the harsh light of day, guilt crept in. Vanessa was my stepmother, and Brooke and Lily were her friends. What had I signed up for? The front door creaked open, jolting me from my thoughts. Vanessa strolled in, exuding freshness and relaxation. She smiled when she saw me, but her eyes revealed more. Nervousness and excitement danced within them. "Morning," she said with a casual flair. "Did you sleep well?" I nodded, words escaping me. Vanessa hurriedly prepared a cup of tea, the silence thickening between us, until she finally turned to face me. "So, about last night," she started, and my heart raced. "I hope you're feeling at ease." I shook my head. "I'm not uneasy, just caught off guard." Vanessa's smile warmed. It wasn't planned, if that's what you're thinking. It just unfolded. We chatted briefly to clear things up, and Vanessa promised that Brooke and Lily would keep the hot tub incident just between us. She made it clear. No regrets on her end. But she totally understood if I wanted to act like it never happened. But did I really want to act like it never happened? With each passing day, that night replayed in my mind. The feel of Vanessa's touch, Brooke's sounds, the taste of Lily's lips. It's etched in my mind. A week passed, and everything felt back to normal. Vanessa and I slipped right back into our routine, no talk of that night at all. But now, an undercurrent of tension crackled in the air, an energy that hadn't existed before. "Can we talk?" she asked one day. I nodded, shutting my laptop as she entered and perched on the edge of my bed. She slipped into a silky robe, and memories of that night in the hot tub flooded back. "I've been thinking about it," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "So about that night, how about we dive deeper into it?" My heart raced. "What do you mean?" I shot back, already sensing where this was headed. Vanessa leaned in, her hand on my knee. "If you're up for it, it's just us this time." I knew I should say no, she was my stepmother, but the memory of her touch, the look in her eyes, it was overwhelming. "All right," I found myself saying. "Let's find out." Vanessa and I spent the night exploring, discovering each other's bodies, and uncovering what made us gasp and moan. It was unique. Vanessa sketched patterns across my skin. "This changes everything," she whispered, shifting from the wild energy of the hot tub night to the cozy, intimate vibe as we lay side by side. I nodded, acknowledging her point. Our relationship shifted, and there was no turning back. In the coming weeks, Vanessa and I quickly fell into a new routine. By day, we kept our usual stepmother-stepson dynamic, but at night, behind closed doors, we dove into this exciting new side of our bond. It was more than just physical. We dove into topics we had never touched on before. I discovered her past, her dreams, and her fears. She tuned in while I shared my future doubts, dreams, and fears. One night, as we lay tangled together, Vanessa propped herself up on an elbow, looking straight at me. "I need to ask you something, Dylan," she said, her tone uncertain. I replied, intrigued, picking up on her tone. "What's that? What do you think about bringing others in? Occasionally." My eyes widened in shock. "Just like Brooke and Lily?" Vanessa gave a quick nod. "They've been inquiring about you." I paused to think about the thrilling idea, but a hint of jealousy crept in at the thought of sharing. "We can skip it," Vanessa said, picking up on my doubt. "I'm good with just us, but a little variety can be fun sometimes." I drew her in, our lips crashing together in a passionate kiss. "Let's give it a shot," I said. "You're always my top choice." Vanessa's smile dazzled. "You're mine," she breathed. Next weekend, Brooke and Lily arrived for what Vanessa dubbed a private party. The nervous energy from the first night had vanished, replaced by a buzz of excited anticipation. We kicked things off in the living room, music softly playing as we sipped wine and flirted. Clothes quickly hit the floor and hands roamed freely. This time, I felt confident and in control. I led the women to the bedroom, and we spent hours exploring and celebrating each other in every possible combination. As the night progressed, I couldn't help but be captivated by the unique qualities of each woman. Vanessa was fiery and driven, Brooke was fun and daring, and Lily was soft and alluring. They crafted an experience that exceeded all my expectations. In that still moment, Vanessa's eyes locked onto mine, brimming with love and desire. I wouldn't change a thing. Weeks flew by, morphing into months, as our unique setup carried on. Vanessa and I stayed at the heart of our bond, getting stronger every day. Brooke and Lily occasionally joined us, always adding a burst of excitement and freshness. But it wasn't all easy going. Jealousy, doubt, and fear crept in at times. What if someone discovered it? What if one of us caught deeper feelings for someone else? We navigated the choppy waters with care, keeping communication open and honest. One unforgettable night, after Brooke and Lily had gone, Vanessa and I snuggled up on the couch. "I have something to say," she said, her voice shaking a bit. My heart raced. She was ready to call it quits. "I think I'm falling for you," she whispered. Relief washed over me, quickly followed by a wave of emotion. "Vanessa," I said, holding her face, "I've been in love with you for a while now." That night, we made love with a fiery intensity. Emotions soared. Later, wrapped in each other's arms, we discussed our future. Our relationship was unconventional, and sure, many wouldn't get it, but we were set on making it work. As summer faded into fall, we embraced a fresh routine. To the world, we were just stepmother and stepson, but behind closed doors, we were lovers. Brooke and Lily stayed in our lives, but only as a rare spice, not a staple. On a brisk autumn evening, Vanessa and I lounged on the back porch, soaking in the sunset when she flashed me a smile. "You know," she said, eyes sparkling, "I never thought that night in the hot tub would spark all of this." I chuckled, drawing her in tight. As the sun sank, splashing the sky with orange and pink, I reflected on the whirlwind of the past few months, from that surprising night in the hot tub to now. A whirlwind of discovery, pleasure, and love unfolded. Uncertain about the future, I held Vanessa close, feeling her warmth. In that moment, I knew we could face anything together, wrapped in each other's embrace, relishing the now and the promise of what's ahead. As stars twinkled in the darkening sky, I made a silent wish, not for change, but for everything to remain just as it was. Against all odds, I discovered everything I never knew I wanted, all sparked by an unexpected evening in a hot tub.